before I started coaching here, I was a referee for volleyball. So I remember going to a particular town, somewhat close by, colors are orange and black. I'm not going to name their school. But I remember going up in the stand, getting ready to play, and I was reffing Notre Dame versus them. And I heard some kids in the stands behind me totally diss Notre Dame. Somebody asked one of the kids said, so who are we playing today? Ugh, it's just Notre Dame. Oh, this is, and I could just feel the fumes coming up. I said, okay, that is going to change. And by goodness, it did.
In the 1997-98 school year, the Lady Knights volleyball and basketball teams accomplished a feat none have since been able to repeat. Both teams from Notre Dame Catholic School in Wichita Falls, Texas, made the trip down south to Waco that year, each bringing back championship gold to the trophy case. And though the road to each title brought challenges of its own, players like senior Elena Contreras always expected the Lady Knights to achieve their ultimate goal.
We always had a winning championship mentality. I think going into the season, nobody ever had to say that we're going to state. It was always just an expectation that we belonged there. That was definitely, we knew going into it that this was our year. We never had to say it, but we knew.
Head coach Lisa Maka, a Notre Dame alumni and former athletic standout of her own, was the first to get a chance to lead her squad to the promised land. Determined to make good on her personal promise to make sure no one overlooked her alma mater on the court ever again, Maka knew this team had a chance to do something special.
I felt we would be pretty good. I had Colleen Foley, who's 6 foot, hands, could block as a middle blocker hitter. I had Elena Contreras, who I knew could hit. Just shot rockets over the net. Another senior I know, Megan Minkle. She wasn't real strong of a hitter, but just she could place it really well and jump like a rabbit. She was one of those that, boing, and up she was. The sophomores I knew because I had Courtney Stewart, that was also another strong middle. She wasn't quite as tall, but could jump well. So I'm saying, I know the twins, Amy and Jessica. So one's a setter, one's a hitter. I just knew physically we had some talent, some athletic ability and talent.
I was a sophomore, so being a little bit younger on a varsity team was really an honor to be. For me, I was a setter for the volleyball team. So to play with older seniors and kind of work up to their level was pretty awesome.
Well, the beginning of the season, I remember thinking that Coach Maka was purposely trying to kill us and that our parents were in on it because they brought us every day. And then as the season progressed, we played some difficult teams, but as we rolled into district, we had been kind of reseeded a couple years earlier into a very easy district. So district was like, we could have done it with our eyes closed. But then as you start playing other teams that are from farther away, it got to be a little bit more heated, and so we had to turn it on.
Going into district play, we would walk into the gym, and we had matching windsuits. We thought we were really cool. We would walk in, and these other teams, they had athletes that were super tall, they looked professional, and we were overwhelmed. We would watch them warm up, and we just kind of had our jaws on the floor thinking, I don't know how this is going to go. But when we stepped out on that court, we were just as big as they were in heart, and we had some, I think every team would have a couple of really great players, but our team, we didn't have a weak link.
The talent and the chemistry, it was just there. It's that magical mixture.
That team chemistry proved to be the powering force behind the Lady Knights' journey through district schedules, playoff runs, and 2 state tournament appearances.
This was quite a bit bigger than what we were used to, so that was really exciting. And in fact, our first team that we played in the tournament was a better team than the team that we beat in the finals. So that was really gut-wrenching. You know, we were very nervous, and they had some tall girls and very strong. They were from Houston, I think, and they were intimidating.
You know, they were obviously, they had size. They had two very tall young ladies on their team, but ultimately we had spent the entire season preparing. I mean, that year, you know, you ask how it started. It was all about discipline. It was about execution. We had done all of the right things to get there, and it was just our time we just knew we needed to finish the fight.
Wait, the game's over, and we actually we have won. You can't believe it for a minute, and then you're jumping in the arms of your teammates that you have been sweating with and running with and hurting with and doing all these things with and growing with, and just really excited to be part of the moment and just have a really good time with these great women.
Hello, I'm Trisha Palomo.
And I'm Ellen Parkey, and we're the directors of Back to Back, Finishing the Fight,
A documentary about the 1997 and 98 Lady Knights volleyball and basketball state champions.
We were amazed at the incredible accomplishment that has never been done again in the history of our school.
It was such a great opportunity to bring back these individuals to the school over 20 years later to talk about their memories of this incredible journey.
We came up with a few questions that we wanted to ask the players, and it was really interesting getting to see the different sides of the same story from different teammates.
But the hardest part was to coordinate with people's schedules and get them here to interview.
It took us 3 weeks to get all the interviews, and it took us about a couple of weeks in the editing room to put everything together.
We hope you enjoy this documentary as much as we enjoyed making it.
This is a great story for young women like us to see what it takes to be a true champion.